Welcome to my channel. In this video you'll be able to draw a beautiful spring landscape with snowdrops step by step. We create the first layer and choose the second color in the second row. Fill the entire layer with this color. Select airbrushing, choose the soft brush and pick the fourth color white. Using a soft brush, I add white here to create the sunlight in the sky. And open Adjustment, select Gaussian blur and set it to about 35%. Select the gray color, second row fourth color. Then apply Gaussian blur at about 47%. Create a third layer. Select airbrushing, soft brush. Then pick the color in the second row, third color, and start painting the horizon and the felt. Fill the remaining unpainted area with the same color to make it faster. Merge the third layer with the second layer and the first layer. Create a new layer, then select black. Go to the inking brushes studio pan, size 10% and opacity 100%. Then draw the trees on the horizon. Try to draw very simple branches and trees to suggest trees in the distance. Continue adding branches to form the tree silhouettes on the horizon. You can draw the branches freely in different directions to make the trees look natural. Gradually add more branches to create the feeling of a dense forest in the distance. Draw the branches freely, varying their shape and direction. The tree trunks can lean slightly to make the forest look more natural. Select the organic and rainforest brush. Select the size 3% and draw a small fir tree. Using the same brush, add foliage around the branches. Open Adjustment, Gaussian Blur, and set it about 5%. Create a third layer. Select the Inking Studio pen brush and draw a tree's closer. You can increase the brush size to about 14%. For the branches, you can reduce the brush size. Open Adjustment, select Gaussian Blur and set it about 3%. Then create a new layer. Choose the Inking Studio pen brush and draw the neck tree. Select the organic rainforest brush again and add foliage. Open Adjustment again, select Gaussian blur and set it about 4%. Then create layer 5, choose the inking studio pen brush and set the brush size to about 12%. Go back to layer 4. Tap Transform to change the position of the tree and move it slightly. Tap Deselect to turn off the Transform tool. Select layer 5 using the Studio Pen brush and draw another tree. For filling the tree, it's convenient to use the airbrushing soft brush. The branches are easier to draw with a Studio Pen brush. I decided to slightly change the position of this tree. Create layer 6 and draw larger trees. The trees will be a little closer. Create layer 7. Select the color in the third row, first color, and choose the organic clay brush. Set layer 7 to clipping mask and paint moss at the bottom of the tree. Add a few shades to make the tree look more dimensional. Go to layer 6. Select the color in the third row, the first green. Create a new layer, layer 8. Set it to clipping mask and place it under layer 6. Here we add a little moss to the tree in the background. Add a few shades of green and brown to make the tree look more dimensional. Then apply Gaussian blur at about 2%. Create a new layer, layer 9. Select the organic rainforest brush. Choose the color in the second row, fourth color. Set the brush size to about 6% and paint the snow. Move layer 9 above layer 1 so we can draw the snow behind the trees without affecting the trees themselves. Create layer 10 above layer 9. Select airbrushing, soft brush. Choose black color and paint the darker areas where the snow has melted. Also add small patches of melted snow. Create layer 11 above layer 10. Select the organic rainforest brush. Choose white color. Set the brush size 2% and draw a thin horizon line. Increase the brush size to 5% and continue drawing snow patches. Go to layer 2 and create layer 12 along the horizon. Add another thin snow line. Then apply Gaussian blur at 4%. After that, hold layer 11 and continue adding small snow areas. Increase the brush size to 7% and add some snow along the edge to the melted area. Create layer 13 above layer 7. Set the brush size to 1% and draw a thin line of snow near the base of the tree. Go to layer 11 and apply Gaussian blur at 3%. Then create layer 14 above layer 13. Choose yellow color and draw the sun. Change the blend mode to add to create a glowing effect. Create layer 15. Choose orange color and select a brushing soft brush. Set the brush size to 11% and draw a semicircle around the sun. Then apply Gaussian blur at 40%. Set the blend mode to add and lower the opacity to 14%. Go to layer 10. Select the sparse brush from the organic set and choose the fourth color in the third row. Create layer 16, enable clipping mask and paint mouse in the melted snow areas. Add different shades of green. You can also use light brown, gray and even a little black to create depth and make the mouse look more realistic. I'm not naming the colors here because I switch between them quite often. Feel free to experiment with different shades and create your own realistic effect. You can also try lowering the brush opacity to get softer color transition. As you can see, I continue adding different shades of green and gray to make the mouse look more realistic. I also adjust the brush opacity while painting. Create layer 17 and enable clipping mask. Select the spire brush, set the brush size to 6% and paint moss on the small melted snow areas. Open Adjustment, Gaussian Blur and set it to 1%. Go to layer 11, select the organic rainforest brush, choose white color, set the brush size to 3% and opacity to 60% and add a little more snow in some areas. Select the inking in Sinky ink brush. Choose the Add 8 color in the second row and draw simple grass strokes. You can also use the 7th color to add a little variation. Now use the smudge tool to gently soften the color along the bottom edge where the grass and moss grow. This helps make the edge look more natural and realistic. Select a small area in the distance using the Select tool. Then apply Gaussian blur at 2% to slightly soften the background. After that, choose the Ink in Studio Pen brush, select the 8 color in the second row and start drawing snowdrops. Go to layer 11 and create layer 18 above it. Select the clipping mask. Enable clipping mask so we paint only on the snowdrop stems without going outside the edges. I also use a smudge tool to blend the color slightly so the stems looked more realistic. You can add a little white color to create a small light highlight. Create layer 19 above layer 18. Choose the same color we used for the stem and start drawing the snowdrop leaves. Also use the smudge tool to gently blend the colors. Create layer 20 above layer 19. Choose the 8 color in the second row and continue drawing the snowdrop leaves. On layer 20, create layer 21 and continue drawing the leaves. Create layer 22 above layer 21 and continue drawing the leaves. Create layer 23 and draw one more snowdrop, since there is still space in the composition. Create layer 24 and draw one more leaf. Create layer 26. Choose the 8 color in the second row and draw the small stem under the flower. Create layer 27. Choose the same color, the 8th color in the second row, and draw a few small snowdrops that are still closed buds. Create layer 28. Choose the same color, the 8th color in the second row, and set the brush size to 2%. Then move layer 28 below layer 27 and draw thin snowdrop stems behind the leaves. Create layer 29. Choose the first color in the second row. Select airbrushing soft brush. Set the brush size to 1% and draw small gray dots as the base for the snowdrop's flowers. Then switch to white color and paint over them to form the small blossoms. Finally, choose inking studio pen and slightly refine the shape of the flowers. Create layer 30 and set the blend mode to add. Choose white color and add more light to the flowers. Then select airbrushing soft brush, set the brush size to 1% and place small glowing dots in the center of the flowers. Next, apply Gaussian blue at 3% to soften the glow. Finally, reduce the layer opacity to 30%. Create layer 31 below layer 27. Choose the first color in the second row, gray. Select airbrushing soft brush. Set the brush size to 1% and draw another snowdrop flower. Move layer 31 below layer 18. I move this layer below so I can draw the flower under the small green part at the base of the flower. Create layer 32 above layer 31. Set the blend mode to add, choose white color and add more light to the flower. Select Gaussian blur and set it 2%. Then reduce the opacity of layer 32 to 15%. Next, go to layer 26 and create layer 33, moving it below layer 26. Choose the fifth color in the second row and draw another snowdrop flower. Go to layer 33, choose white color and add highlight to the flower. Choose the third color in the second row and add a few more highlights. Then use the smudge tool to softly blend the colors. Next, create layer 34 and set the blend mode to add. Choose white color and select airbrushing, soft brush. Then add a soft glow. After that, apply Gaussian blue at 70%. Then merge the layer down. Create a new layer 34. Choose gray color and draw another snowdrop flower. create layer 35 and set the blend mode to add. Choose white color and select airbrushing, soft brush. Then add white highlights. Apply Gaussian blue at 9%. Now I am adjusting the shape of this snowdrop. First I go to layer 26 and erase the extra part. Then I move to layer 23 and clean up the tip a little. After that I return to layer 26, choose the 8 color in the first row, select ink in Studio Pen and redraw the snowdrop flower. We create a new layer, layer 36, and move it under layer 26. Then we choose the third color in the second row, select the airbrushing soft brush and start painting a snowdrop. We create a new layer, layer 37, and set the layer mode to add. Then we choose the white color, select the airbrushing soft brush, set the brush size to 1% and gently add some color. Apply Gaussian blur at 6%. Merge layer 30 with layer 29 and then layer 29 with layer 28. Next I merge layer 27 with layer 28. After that I select the selection tool, choose freehand and use a 3-finger swipe to copy and paste. Then we move the small snowdrops to the areas where the snow has started to melt. Then we use warp to slightly deform and adjust the shape of the snowdrops. Next we use the smudge tool in Procreate to gently blend the colors so the snowdrops look more natural. This also helps soften the edges where the flowers look slightly cut after we pasted them. Using the ink blank brush, we paint the thin blades of grass next to the snowdrops. We also copy these snowdrops and place them in other areas where the snow has melted. Merge down the copied drawing with the layer below. Create a new layer, 37. Select the inking ink blade brush and draw thin blades of grass. We create a new layer above layer 15. This will be layer 38. Then we choose the 8 color in the second row. Select brush size 6, the same brush as before, and paint thicker, larger blades of grass in the foreground. We create a new layer 39 and set it as clipping mask. Then we select charcoal burn tree and lightly paint the tips of the grass with this brush. Then we select a dark brown color and set the opacity to 40%. As we finish the drawing, we can notice a few small imperfections. We could keep improving it for several more hours, but the video is already quite long for YouTube, so I'll just make a few small adjustments to refine the artwork. Find layer 7, then we choose the 7th color in the second row. Select organic clay brush and make the moss at the base of the tree a bit brighter. I think we need to adjust the sun glow effect. We find layer 14 and change the layer mode from add to normal. Then we go to adjustment, Gaussian blur and set it to 10%, so the sun looks brighter. After that we open layer 15 and set the opacity to about 45%. Thank you for watching my drawing tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe to see more of my work.